Hi, my name is Madison Lively. My NSU ID number is N01908488. I want to thank you so much for the invitation to submit a video essay, and thank you for viewing my submission. Let me begin with question number 1. Many students look for careers in which they can help others and make a difference in their lives. Why did you choose occupational therapy, and what do you think makes occupational therapy unique? I actually chose occupational therapy because of the uniqueness of the profession. I think occupational therapy stands out among all other medical careers because of the freedom that you have to be able to choose something that you're truly passionate about. With occupational therapy, you have the ability to be able to choose if you want to work in an inpatient, an outpatient, or a home health clinic. Also, you can choose what age groups you're willing to work with. Maybe birth to 3, pediatrics, adults, geriatrics, or all of the above. You can do a specific part of the body or do the whole body. You truly have the freedom to be able to find something you're passionate about, and I believe I can do that. I think that's what makes occupational therapy so unique, is the diverse settings and age groups that you're able to work with. I, through my volunteering experiences and shadowing, was able to work with many different age groups and settings. I began in an inpatient clinic. It was in a hospital, and I worked with adults that had gone through many obstacles of life, such as strokes, heart attacks, a car wreck, such a hard thing to overcome. But with an occupational therapist, they were able to regain mobility that they may have lost because of those obstacles. I then began shadowing in an outpatient pediatric clinic. So I was seeing an occupational therapist with pediatrics, much different. She had to be able to build a relationship with the child. You know, children don't really pay attention to much, and so she had to find fun ways to interact with them, but to also be able to get them to move and to do certain movements that would benefit them and to help them be able to regain mobility and move their muscles more. And it was such a great experience. Then I was able to see an occupational therapist in home health, and that was so much different than anything I'd seen. It was the occupational therapist actually going to the patients. So not only did they trust the occupational therapist enough to do her job, she was able to build such a close relationship that she went to their homes, and she had to be able to work with whatever they had there. You know, if they had blocks, or if they were older adults, she had to work with them. She had to be able to work with the environment and truly shape her occupational therapy around that. And I think that's what makes occupational therapy so unique, is the ability to be able to shape and to be able to do what you are passionate about, and to be able to pick a setting that you want to do. Let me lead into question number 2. What led you to believe that Nova Southeastern University was the right place for your occupational therapy education? I chose Nova because I was interested in small schools. I knew that from coming from a big university, I had 30,000 students in my university, and that led to really big classroom sizes. So I never really built a relationship with the students or with my professors. So I knew that a small school would definitely be a better fit for me. Then I came along an occupational therapist that was a Nova Southeastern alumni. She talked so highly of the program and said that she truly felt as if her education flourished at Nova. So I started looking into the program, and she was able to tell me all about it, tell me about the classroom sizes, and tell me about the hands-on experiences she was able to gain through Nova. She was so knowledgeable about occupational therapy and really chose me to believe that Nova Southeastern University would be such a great fit for me. Let me move on to question number 3. Please describe a situation where you received negative feedback about your performance in school, work, or another activity. How did you feel about the negative feedback, and what was your immediate response? If you had the chance to do it over, what would you change and why? I remember back in freshman year, I actually was taking a chem course, and I had tested into a sophomore level chem class. So in this chem class, I was with much older people than, most freshmen weren't in this class. And it was the first chem class I'd ever taken, so I was a little nervous, but I was excited to see how I did. Our first exam came around, and I felt as if I was pretty prepared for the exam and that I had done fairly well. I got the exam back, and it was my first F I had ever received. It was quite a bummer. And so I didn't really know what to do. I was like, how do I change the situation? What do I do? So I thought, well, let me go to my professor. And I remember going to my professor, and she looked at me after I told her what I had gotten on the exam, and she said, you might as well drop the course. You're never going to pass with an exam score like that. And I remember coming out of her office, and I was so upset. It truly bothered me and hurt me to hear someone that I looked up to and who was supposed to encourage me to do better with my education put me down and tell me I wasn't going to pass her class and I might as well just pretty much drop it and forget taking chemistry. Well, instead of taking that and, dropping the course, I decided I was going to pass this class. I was going to do it, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's what I did. I went out and I sought help. I went to every chem tutor that I think we offered at the university. I went to my professor anytime I got an exam back, and I talked to her about what I didn't understand or what I did understand and what I needed help with. And I built a relationship with her, and I ended up passing the class. It was such a success. And so I took her negative feedback and I made it into a success for myself. I was able to pass my chem class. If I had to change something about the situation, I would change that I let it bother me. I wore my feelings on my sleeve, and when she told me I couldn't do it, I truly took it as if I couldn't do it, instead of setting my mind to it and saying I was going to. So if I had to change it, I would say that I wouldn't have let it bother me as much as I had. Let me move on to the fourth question. You are assigned to work on a departmental project with another coworker that will market occupational therapy to physicians. This coworker has been at this facility longer than you and does not really see the need for the project. The coworker is not willing to spend any extra time on the project. What would you do? Please explain your rationale. Well, if I was in that situation, I feel as though I would be very enthused to be able to talk about occupational therapy because I know that I would be new to that career. So I would put forth a little bit more work. I know that because she's been in the field and she's been through the department and she kind of knows everything about it, that she might not be as enthused as I am as someone that's just now becoming an occupational therapist and getting into this career. So I would take on a little bit more of the work. I would also sit down with her and talk to her and tell her how enthused that I was about it, and that if she wasn't, what her concerns were, how I could help to make it better. Maybe we could do something that she enjoyed. We could somehow market it in a way that she would enjoy it as much as I did, knowing that I was so enthused about occupational therapy. And I really think that together we would be able to work through it and find a way that we both would be able to work together and enjoy it. Let me move on to the last question. Please tell us something about yourself that distinguishes you as an applicant to our program. I feel as though I'm distinguished because of my well-rounded medical background. I began college as an exercise physiology major, and that gave me the basics for all careers in the medical field. I was able to choose from anything, but instead I decided that occupational therapy was the fit for me. I've been able to volunteer in 5 different hospitals in various settings, from the NICU to pediatrics to the emergency department. I have seen quite a bit. And through that, I was able to see that occupational therapy fostered my love for the medical field, but it also gave me the freedom to choose what I truly wanted to do. I am so excited about occupational therapy, and I think I am distinguished as an applicant because of my background in the medical field and through all the experiences that I was able to witness. I have the education, the experiences, and the desire to be a successful occupational therapist. I thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope that I'm chosen to be a Nova Southeastern University occupational therapist. Thank you so much for your time.